Ladies and gentlemen, let's send this over to Miles and Chance. I know, a hot take, right?
I am mind blown right here.
I'm feeling myself
Chance,
today.
did you hear what Belly just said about Huke and Asim?
They're good.
Talk to me.
They're
Talk to
scary.
me, Chance.
I missed it. No, I'm so sorry.
He said Asim and Huke might be the best SMG duo.
One of the best. One of the best. I'll take a Casper.
Take it away. Take it away.
My favorite bit was that Asim's kind of GA'd himself right now. Man, absolutely roasted the man down to atoms. This is going to be a spicy one, man, and he ain't too wrong. Let's face it, LAG have been under the weather recently since, dropping out of the Pro-Am and not necessarily bouncing back. Now that we're in the online qualifiers, could they go back-to-back in terms of the majors here in Major 3 chance? Hell yeah, baby, why not? Kavutu, Bocage, Tuscan, Berlin, and Desert Siege. My goodness, what a colorful tapestry of a series we have ahead of us, my friend.
Absolutely, and I sort of agree with Ali. Like, it's a decent map pool, I'd say, for LAG. Obviously, Minnesota right now is mostly just an unknown quantity. I know that, like, you know, Havok was not the immediate panacea at the Pro-Am for the squad, but I'd say overall, as far as losses goes, like their hard points, I know they lost a few, but they're losing very tight games, and that's on fairly short notice. So I think they at least have potential. I think Røkkr have decent odds in this series, and honestly, now I'm trying to do the SMG duo rankings on my head and trying to figure out exactly where Huke and Asim would be. Like maybe top 4, top 5. I mean, Major 2, all the way there, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, look, right, come on, man. Vanguard changes more than the weather does. Let's face it, it's all crazy this season, but that's what we love about this game, right? It keeps everyone on their toes, keeps us all guessing, keeps us all locked in to engage. You find out what happens next week, and God only knows where we go from here. But here we go, friends, into our Mountain Dew marquee match today. This should be an absolute treat. Minnesota Røkkr, Los Angeles Guerrillas, the Major 2 champions, now going up against a squad who have yet to prove themselves. Havok, the new player on the team. Let's see how he fares. What a peach of a nade that was.
Well, you know, you throw one nade, you have to eat another. So I suppose trades on trades just with the utility. But now the actual gunfight's inside the point. Hey, there's one half, the SMG duo, Asim able to pick up. There's number 2. Take that foot to the grave and inside the point. Actually, funnily enough, Havok wins the second engagement on Spart. It'd be a very interesting matchup, honestly, across the board. Even on this map, we get to see Priestahh, the new main AR, on a very AR-heavy map. So, you know, everyone will be hyper-focused on his stats at the very least. But in the meantime, honestly, it's Havok having a great old time.
Yeah, nice time so far. I think it's a 4 spree. We'll catch up on him in just a moment. At 5-1, starting this map off. Time going the way of Røkkr. Right-hand side of your screen, they're the boys in the white arrows on the minimap. LAG in the golden purple in game, there'll be the purple arrows on the minimap there. But here we go, over towards the boat. And it's Asim and Co who've managed to get themselves the time. Looking to bounce back into this one. Røkkr with a pinch developing here. Over to our Mountain Dew featured player, Huke, who are top 3rd. The highest point of the map, finding as many kills as he can. Season touch. Good shots, not enough to get the job done, though, as he's brought down. This is an opportunity now for the members of Røkkr to make their way forward. And it's Priestahh, who's able to get in the kills. Not able quite to get the time, but here comes Havok. Spree comes to a close, but he's got himself on boat.
Well, Spart's actually gotten sort of behind enemy lines a little bit, and he'll be drawing a decent bit of attention his direction. But he's only able to take one to the grave with him, and this is not a ton of time on P2 being collected either direction. And there's the play, by the way, to sell up LAG for a long time to come. He flanks, gets a 2-piece in green, flips those spawns, and while his teammates collecting the time, you'll have a very smaller, maybe no lead at all, but you're set up for this P3 hill. Honestly, LAG, I mean, that could be one of the plays of the game.
It will see that will pay off. P3 all over the right-hand side of the map is covered now with LAG players. Time's going in their favor. Asim with ring control. He's got a lot of players coming his way. This is going to be an important fight. Here comes a slide out. An unfortunate timing for him, but Standy manages to get him, take care of business. Now that's ring control. Priestahh, the new main AR now for Røkkr, posted up, trying to cover his boys, allow Standy to get in a little closer to the contest. Now done. Beautiful work out of Røkkr. That's almost a full clean wipe, all down to Asim, but the time is ticking in their favor.
Hey, that was, I mean, without question, way too easy for Standy just to waltz on up and get inside the point and just have free kills on the player inside the hill. So there was zero pressure, but I suppose at the same time, LAG also just waltz back in the hill and take it right back. So I suppose Røkkr can sort of cut their losses. They'll be happy to strip away a little bit of time, but either way, Asim set them up long term and really put themselves in a spot where they'll have about a 25-30 point lead going into new.
Yeah, neither team's really putting up too much resistance there on the third hard point. Over towards the next we go, though. Standy unable to get both of those players top boat side. However, we will see Priestahh locking in time for Nu. So now Røkkr with an ability to pull the game back in their favor. Let's see what Attach does on the outside of the beach. He's got eyes on at least a seam. Knows one's coming, but now as his feet plod through the sands of Gavutu, ring-a-ding-ding, catches him unaware. That's an open field now to work with for the LA Guerrillas players. Forward they go onto the hard point.
And short-term LAG get the back spawn, so maybe they want those initially, but you can also get trapped in the blender very, very quickly. So right now, Røkkr sort of posted up, ready for the gunfights in the back. Attach win his ones, and now LAG, this is a tough spot. You go through the beach side, and you play with fire, and you play with grenades, and 37 crosses you have to deal with. All that work to get the back spawns, and now look at what they have to do. Try to just crawl their way out of it. Effectively a full 60 on this point to give Røkkr the lead, and obviously free clearance for Havok to rotate, to try to catch these players on rotation.
37 crosses could be like a Christian rock band. Let's see what we've got for Standy now on the 4 spree. 5 now in a row for him. Looking to get streaks in a couple. Anyone to be had here would be ideal. P5's up and about, and the rest of his teammates making their way forward. They are cutting down LAG every step of the way. No one from LAG's managed to get on the board just yet, and now the time may be going their way, but they are surrounded.
Yeah, and Røkkr gonna make this break, so they're trying to set themselves up for album of the year. They already got the glide bomb, so they're trying to make music in the feed, and this is interesting, man. LAG having to basically spawn up in the wrapping towards P1, and I suppose sort of almost chalking a decent chunk of this P5 time, or maybe going for the late storm through green, but that's a decent amount of time invested, but hey, it is worthwhile. Who can seem an SMG duo to be reckoned with to get that scrap time. Røkkr still have a nice little bump, but LAG, again, they swung out over towards P1, so they'll be set up for Nu. Obviously, though, working at that 30-point deficit.
Back over to our Mountain Dew feature player, Huke. Force brief for him, pulling himself out of the negative KD department, 8 and 10 at the moment. Him and his teammate got time now in their favor. Røkkr are trying to make the approach. They are pinned on the right-hand side of the map. Standy has managed to slip through. Dead Silence play now activated. Able to maybe get his way towards the backside of the ring. Here comes the pressure. This should be a decent break, and it is there for Røkkr. Hard point now theirs.
Havok has been a menace around P1. Obviously, that is great teamwork and coordination coming out from Røkkr. The nade's obviously on point, but he has won almost every single gunfight in this P1 area. Now the pressure's on because he's going to have to win a few more. Every single one of his teammates dies, and that'll be the fights around the point. Attach can't even win the fights over towards Red Tower, but Havok in the hill can take at least one to the grave with them. That'll be enough for Røkkr to still have a decent chunk of a lead, and honestly, Havok did a good enough job to buy his teammates time. Standy can't win it with the automaton, though, but now Attach is trying to get this final fight for scrap. Literal ring around the rosy. Røkkr get those final few seconds, but that rotation, LAG have found their hope.
As the song and dance continues on Gavutu, let's have a quick listen in with Minnesota Røkkr and see how they sound.
Mid-tank, front green.
Kill me. You got me?
One shot top, dead.
One more time.
He came out of KD.
Spawning back green, guys.
He's gonna go top boat,
You gotta go back green.
this time.
Push off cliff. You need to push off cliff.
Top boat, Spart.
One top
Absolute,
boat.
guys. Absolute.
Top ring, dead.
Okay.
Alright,
Nice,
dead.
2 down.
Mid-tank and hill.
Mid-tank is weak, mid-tank and hill last year.
Hold mid-tank.
They're both time, they're
I have a
both
streak
time.
for Nu. Let's get
Anytime,
this
anytime. He pushed off
This time.
cliff.
Got one
Spart
nice.
dead. Or Slasher.
I'm nading
Let's
this
chill,
time.
let's chill.
I'm trying time.
Push on
time.
till dead. I have time. You guys go.
Yeah, I'm pushing off front green.
How many?
I'm coming down.
It could be short. I'm playing the
No, they can't be short. They can't be
I'm
short.
time.
Back green, one shot. Spart. Nice. They're gonna be tower.
I'm gonna do back.
Good shit, Colt. You fucking beast.
They're trying to hit me
tower.
maybe.
Holy shit, Colt. You're finessing.
Mid-tank, dead.
Yeah, I'm
Nice,
finishing
good
this
shit.
guy.
Good shit. Look
This
for
guy's
more
on
guys.
Seeing
stage,
Smart.
right now.
Mason,
Tell me,
Mason,
he was on
Mason,
stage.
Mason.
Yeah, for side green, last guy.
I can streak this. I can streak this.
No, not yet. We have a good setup.
No, watch out, watch out.
Yeah, I would streak.
Get ring.
I'm on shot. Trying to stay down. I'm absolute.
I would
Taking one
streak.
guy short, one guy short.
Short weak and one shooting back.
One guy's top boat. I'll kill the guy boat. One guy's short. One
time.
guy
Kill time.
Minnesota Røkkr sounding good, starting to get a little bit dominant here. LAG, though, hot on their heels, trying to make the comeback. Let's see how they sound in their very own listening.
Tower. He's pushing the truck, look like. He's dead on the truck. He's dead.
Nade with me.
Yeah. I made it.
I'm gonna get out, guys.
I got him.
Nice.
Look at the cross
Try
gunner.
and get out.
I don't see anything crossing.
I can
It's gonna be close.
They're gonna be focused on Simp.
Yeah, they're gonna spawn out.
He's top ring,
for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to come get it.
Only one, guys.
Are you out?
Oh no, dead.
I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
stop
but they're
ring.
gonna
Another guy. Spawning there.
One track, camera truck.
Another guy.
Cool.
Trying to get out.
Camera truck. Or sorry.
Still spawning. I'm still spawning out. I'm going.
Top boat, one shot pressing, literally boat.
We're
looking at camo truck.
I don't see this guy. Yeah, he's B-Dom and top clip.
That's the guy. That was the guy. That was the guy.
We gotta try to fight for both.
I don't
get this close though.
Well, guys, our stairs going top ring.
Our stairs go. Okay.
Shots, LAG sounding somewhat deflated, it sounded like there. We're still on board with Huke, our Mountain Dew featured player, picking up kills all over the shop, but the rest of the team, can they get it going?
Well, without question, two different vibes in the comms, without a doubt. And now in terms of this hill, I mean, it's a money hill. Røkkr get here first. They already have a 40-point lead. And right now, if LAG don't get this break in, let me tell you, it's not looking good as Priestahh is able to pick up two when the four-man wipe is in. Røkkr right now just putting them in the dirt. And I gotta say, just looking at this, the entire year, the problem for like Minnesota Røkkr has never really been the ARs. They've just never had a great SMG duo, at least not rocking together at the same time. Standy and Havok this game have been on point. Like Priestahh, the only thing he's really needed to do is stand inside the hills and collect that time. And so far for Røkkr, so good. Even Atash is having a field day, 24 and 15. And well, this is very much the case. They only need 29 seconds, and they are going to get these back spawns for P5. This right here might be the moment to decide the game.
Here we go. Let's see if Stavok, we're not going to call him the other version of that, can get the job done here against LAG. LAG with control for the time being. Nice shots over the top line from Priestahh. The kills come through. It seems trying to clear out green. It's getting a bit frantic as the time now ticking in favor of Minnesota. 25 for the win. Pressure now on. LAG have got to get going. It seems taking a bit of a route, and he better get going because, again, the clock is ticking. His teammates now trying to make their way forward. A scene with the hero play now. 3 in a row. Trying to break the back of the hard point open. Standy's there to get it. Over to Huke. Can he find anything? Forward they go. 20 seconds. No! The kills are all good. Røkkr should have it in the bag.
I've either got all the crosses. You got Standy on a 4 underneath these steps. Players will jump over him or sprint right out in front, but whatever direction they take, they will get chopped down along the way. The Stavok duo lighting up the feed the entire time, and Røkkr a comfortable 250, 171 victory on a Gavutu hardpoint.
A brilliant start for Minnesota Røkkr here in the series. Havok, whoa, what did he say? What did he say to the camera? Can we get some lip reading in here? Whoa,
Where's
lordy.
John Boy when you need him?
Get a bit spicy up in the Røkkr camp. Oof, lordy, they did have a wonderful opener there. And again, for LAG, much to be desired. Teamwork a little bit on point. Rotations weren't terrible, but that couple of hard points, that P3 that Røkkr had, man, it was watertight. They're on Gavutu. No one getting in, no one getting out, you name it. Great start to the series there for Minnesota.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, it is much easier to say after a performance like that, but with all the criticism for the roster change that Røkkr made, and I very much want to criticize, again, the debate between Major Maniac and Priestahh, at the very least, you got to admit, they did address the main issue. They just have an extra SMG presence now. Havok, main slayer, 30 kills to his name, damage on point, and obviously Standy and Atash right there with them. But I mean, literally, right from the jump on P1, Havok, I mean, he went on a 5 spree on his second life, and I think really was just able to set the pace from his team. Outside of the one moment from his team early on, you know, flanking a green, picking up a 2-piece, and flipping those spawns, LAG were pretty much playing off the back foot the entire game.
Yeah, it's hard to really mount comebacks. I mean, Gavutu is possible. Again, the couple of hills can be chained together quite comfortably, but if the other team's playing it well, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do, and Røkkr came out swinging from start to finish. It was pretty much them. So kudos to the squad who's putting in the hard work. Clearly, again, a controversial decision to move Major Maniac off the main roster instead of, you know, what a lot of fans wanted, which I think was Priestahh. But for now, things looking all right here against LAG. Can they keep this one going? Again, Search and Destroy coming up after this. And again, plenty more teams to be played here in the qualifiers for Major 3. How long can Røkkr keep it rolling? We'll find out, though, mate. But so far, chance so good.
And I think Priestahh just sort of throwing up almost like Major Maniac kind of like numbers, right? The slang doesn't have to be on point as long as you're there to rotate and just collect all of the hill time. Well, you make your teammates' lives that much easier and allow them to roam. Now, of course, though, going into the Search and Destroy, obviously not having Major on your team, you do take a massive hit. The good news, though, you do have Havok, who is also a hefty playmaker in Search and Destroy. And I think him and Standy could be a very interesting duo with the SMGs, especially on a map like Bocage, because I know Standy is another player that has faced a decent bit of criticism for basically not being the superstar that he was in Cold War, but something that has somewhat gone under the radar. He is one of the, if not the most impactful S&D player in the game. It's been consistently so. Has like a 1.2 overall KD. I think he's literally #1 on the list of kills per round in this game mode. So I know Standy, outside of that game #1, isn't the Cold War status that he had in like the respawns, but his S&D is like, you know, second to none.
Well, speaking of his S&Ds, one of our top performers to be looking out for in this upcoming matchup.
There you go.
Could you believe it? There we go. Like Benz, the 1.2 slasher on the other side of the board for LAG. And again, don't forget, friends, Los Angeles Guerrillas went on a historic search and destroy run. They've set the world record. I can't remember what it is right now. It's a lot. There was, what, 15, 16 maps in the end, I think it was. Something. It was ridiculous. I could be getting that incorrect at this moment in time, but they are a formidable team when it comes to Surge, it has to be said. Current form, though, is in question. Again, since the Pro-Am, they have not quite been as feisty or as magical as they once were at the Røkkr Major. Still, though, for Standy and for the rest of Røkkr, a newfound sense of life, a new lease on it. See if they can keep that one going again in the Search and Destroy on its way just now. Slasher, hot off that big win in Minnesota. How far can they push them? A loss here to Røkkr chance would be, I think, for a lot of people, a big surprise.
And just for what it's worth, by the way, to touch on those stats just for an extra like 30 seconds, so to speak, the 1.2 KD, the 29.9% like team kill percentage that Standy had, I almost want like those to be cut in half of just for like the roster swap and see how much that actually shifts over time and see if like a couple more teammates or just Havok specifically ends up taking a bit more of the load, because and to be quite frank, having 30% of your team kills is kind of absurd in any given game mode. That's over the top, but I suppose if he's also towards the top of the league in KD, it's not really a bad thing, but I do think at least the team kill percentage might start to shift just a little bit over time, but obviously that remains to be seen. What we're going to see very quickly, these guys on Bocage, it will be a mix fest.
This should be great. Again, looking forward to seeing, you know, Huke and Asim get in the mix. We're going to see Standy and Havok again running those ARs. Don't forget about Attach. He's a sneaky boy too. It's going to be a lot of fun watching them play. Bocage, Search and Destroy coming up next. Great map on the way between two teams, both decked out in purple. Very different shades of it, but we're going to see how this one goes down in just a brief moment. Fist bumps are out. You know what it means, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Strap yourselves in. We're going to the cage. Let's get it.
Hey, Havok will be bringing his mug with him wherever he goes. I forgot about that. He used that a decent bit in Cold War as well. And either way, as far as the maps goes for these two teams, obviously, you know, a slightly better record for Minnesota Røkkr, but that is as comparable as it possibly. How are their records not better on the map if both of these guys are that good?
It's
literally top three, top two in every single category. That is actually, that's wild.
This is a matchup, baby. This is going to be great here on the cage. We've got two titans, two champions of it going at each other. Let's see how it fares. Again, only one can walk out the cage. Two may enter, but only one will leave. I've got no idea. My bets are all off on this one. Not a clue where to really match these teams against each other here on the mapping mode, but let's find out. Bomb in hand, and they are rolling as one. Here go Røkkr over towards A.
And who's number 2 on the minimap? Spart. Yeah, I was going to say he's going to have to back down on the minimap, but he's still able to keep that tank control, so a lot of utility, but just to buy you an ounce of time, gunfights get traded in the point. First blood basically means nothing in this because we go to a very quick 3v3.
A very quick Asim tiptoes up to the top steps of the A plat, and now he's going to find himself in a world of hurt. The rotation, the fast one from that, over towards B. See you later. Peace out. Røkkr are gone. Priest to the rear guard. Oh my god, Attach turns and burns. Nice shots. As Røkkr have just taken one life and fanned out across the map. The bomb is going to be planted a bit. It might not be fast enough. Attach loses the gunfight to Slasher now straight onto the bomb. Havok doesn't manage to get it down. He's been wiped out as well. So it was looking so good. LAG though have turned it into a 1v1. Priestahh, 30 seconds on it. And Slasher, will he check this bomb? Oh my god, chance. He's not. He's gone. He's left.
Shout out to that dead silence too, because I think Slasher just didn't get the Q, and well, now you get the brand new AR versus one of the legendary main ARs of the game, and Slasher right now, he's just playing for patience, and it works out perfectly. Easy reads for Slasher, takes down Priestahh, and that is a nice little 2v3 clutch that Slasher and Spart able to deliver.
Unbelievable. And again, one of the old legends, been around the block many times. The king of the lower bracket run at major tournaments for such a long time now. Patience pays off.
Honestly, it's just like perfect positioning too from Slasher, right? Because if you plant the bomb on B, literally, unless Priestahh with an AR for some reason is going to be playing in the tunnel and check that direction, which just like feels bad, he'll either be back out or he'll jump over top. So, I mean, Slasher literally just in the perfect position in that 1v1. But while the positioning is good there right now, it is a basically 4-man stack at the top side of the minimap. And funnily enough, Røkkr have almost completely given up control of that side of the map. They're taking control of the bottom.
It's reminiscent of the previous round we saw as well. The shoes are on the other foot. For now, who's going to kick first? That's the question. And Røkkr playing it slow and steady. Slasher saw the window peek open. Standy managed to close it immediately. Here comes the plant on A. The rattling of gunfire now across Bocage. The bomb planted. It's going to be a straight up retake. Asim's is ringing. Here comes the hit. Standy first in. Finds one. Traded out immediately. Good stuff out of Havok. Again, that makes it a 2v3 Røkkr man advantage.
And that bomb is planted actually in a pretty interesting position. I think Spart might be able to get eyes on it from back P2, but both players are towards the back attached, trying to stay alive. Whoa. Somehow doesn't get traded because Spart's dealing with somebody else, and now Slasher for a 1 versus 3. Looking for back-to-back clutches in the rounds and has split the uprights. He finds the next one-on-one, but a little bit too slow as Priestahh just able to hop that bomb. As spicy as it got, the play call too strong, and Røkkr not letting that one slip through the cracks. They tie this one up at 1-1.
That was a spicy round indeed. That play from Attach, man, got tagged up, flew into barn. I mean, that is the Bocage treatment right there, mate. You've got no idea. Players can be anywhere nearby. So small, so easy to cross over. By the time the comms come out, he's inside barn, he's weak. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's too fast, too happening. Priestahh, though, doesn't want any of that smoke. Gets the bomb defused, gets his team on the board. Beautiful stuff out of both squads so far, and an interesting opener for sure. Can Slasher keep the spree going? Not likely, but his teammates covering him perfectly. 3v3.
Well, I mean, he got another kill technically, so that would be a 5 spree, but that is on your teammate, and now you are down low with nowhere to go. So this is Asim trying to fly through for the 1v3. The Standy wins the gunfight from down low, and shout out to the team nade coming through. Røkkr taking full advantage, and that is a lightning fast round.
I was going to say, it felt like you're trying to make the best of a bad situation, and they certainly capitalized on that. So kudos to Røkkr for hitting the fly button as soon as they saw that nade take out Huke. That was mid-map, opened wide out. Seemed trying to get involved in the end there, but not quite enough to happen. There's Røkkr. Another good round out of them. 2 in a row now. See how they fare. Now, on defense, LAG looks like they're going to lean towards mid-map. The bomb might still make it towards A.
And just retrospectively, very kind of surprising to see Slasher playing that aggressive in a spot like that when he's on a spree. But now you got a different sort of first blood. Turns out your new SMG on the block can use the automaton too, and takes down Slasher for the first pick. And look at Røkkr just backing up, making those adjustments, making sure they can play together for the trades as they have this 4v3.
Can't take care of Standy. Very sneaky indeed. Now Standy's got a straight up fight ahead of him. The stun's going to land. Peeks over the top. Gets it again. A magnificent 2 spree out of Standy. Huke now cut down as well. Røkkr with a sublime teamwork. Great coverage. Standy staying alive in a tough spot.
And just the sort of similar style from LAG where they were so successful at Major II. It's if you get that first blood, you do not give away anything for free. You back up into some sort of a setup where you can play together, and Havok does exactly that. Plays aggressive, gets that first pick, doubles back, and I mean, you just have Standy playing a nice little off angle. The team coverage was obviously there behind him after he gets the first kills, and I mean, that is just a clinical round where, I mean, Standy, as always, the impact in S&D is there, and Røkkr still just pushing the pace.
Stuns land out, and it's a nice opening blood from Slasher, a fast one at that, over towards the B-bomb site. And as you can see, the defending lineup there from LAG, all over the backside of Bocage, looking over the B-bomb site, plenty of space to work with. They have forced Røkkr inside, and that's where things might get scary. Asim knows they're coming. Here's the hit. Standy throwing shoulders. Eyes on your screen, Asim. You don't let this one happen.
I don't know if I've ever actually seen anyone play that angle before. And what is that Call of Duty timing? Make this a 3 versus 3. Spart finds another blood on the outside of the map. So I suppose this will still be the LAG advantage. Spart gets the freebie, and that bomb did not get planted. Priestahh, an almost hopeless round at this point. Bomb down, 3 players to deal with, and LAG almost never give away these for free.
So much time. And oh my, Priestahh, he's dead now. He ran straight past it. Unfortunately, I believe Slash was on the back tank spot. Big kill out of Spart to take care of the bomb planter there. Again, that round took so long. By the time Priestahh finds himself in that 1v3, it's 30 seconds remaining. It's a tough situation to be in anyway. With the time not on your side as well, very, very little options.
I gotta say, I mean, again, I do like that angle from Asim. That is literally as bad as it gets. Like, that is like the picture perfect definition of Call of Duty timing. But hey, it doesn't make a difference. And I'd say for LAG, you just sort of stop the bleeding, right? Things were getting out of control. They were pushing the pace, and Slasher, I think, just does a really nice job just to get that first blood and try to keep things a little bit slower as the middle of the map being aggressed on. And yeah, there's the aggression. It pays off. I suppose it does get traded out, but Røkkr having to make these quick adjustments as they are just so aggressive now on the outside of the map. They get the kills. Ratback hits the Huke, spots it all for the freebie two-piece, and he gets away with his life.
That's tremendous. That's your Mountain Dew featured player. Priestahh got tags in, but not enough to finish the job. And now another 1v2 situation. Huke reads it, guns him. Beautiful round out of the nuke.
Dude, this is just, I mean, obviously this is Bocage. Funnily enough, I think this has actually been, since like the bomb site got moved, the slowest S&D map in the game, which might seem faded, but a lot of these rounds actually get drawn out for a very long time because players like, you post up in the back of the map on the tanks. Normally it's slow pace. These two teams, they are getting after it.
Love to see it. All tied up 3-3. Let's see how fast they can get at it here, because, yep, it's through the door. We're in kitchen already. We're already in kitchen. Havok's already got himself one. Standy's about to check a corner. If that door creeps open, the scene's going to get blown away, but Standy now on the inside. You've already overwhelmed the bottom side of Granny's. You've got players all over the shop. And this could get ugly real fast. Asim once again. Oh, is it patient? Oh, it's paying off this time. He's gone round. He saw a second set of cheeks. Multi-cheek. Oh, no. Havok stays alive. Lives to fight another day, and now it's a 2v3.
Yeah, Priestahh just has good coverage from over top, and, well, good coverage, and then another free pick, man. It is just both teams moved around the map so quickly. The bomb gets picked up and recovered, but not getting planted just yet. I mean, Røkkr have been happy to sort of bounce back and forth across the map. They'll cut through mid. They'll wrap all the way back, but as it stands, bunch of AR players in this lobby on Bocage. This might finally be the slow round of all of them.
For Røkkr now, yes, Havok are out of the question. On the other side of the board, it's much slower from Spart and Slasher. Bomb plant now. Here we go. Good old-fashioned retake. Who's going to get lucky this time? Who's going to get the good timing? Who's going to get the good shot? Slasher dropped. It's attached. A Spart tries to get in the mix. ASAP gets one. There's no way in hell he gets the trade. There you go. The shots are on. The positioning was good. And that is wildly frustrating for the LAG players.
And that is almost like too easy from Røkkr as well, right? Make the readjustment, take your time, and then you think LAG would have some sort of game plan, but all of that gets shut down the instant Attach just wins the first gunfight. So aggression was key, at least in the post plant. Both players wrapping on the backside towards tower. One through back L. And again, both of these teams are making move. And I suppose just with the pace that Røkkr is playing, if you just put the pressure on LAG, instead of giving them the time to work with, so to speak, and think about things for more than 2 seconds, sprint at them and cause problems. First and second blood already in, literally zero map control as the dominoes fall one by one. What is shaping up to be a perfect round bar a Spart clutch, but tagged up and trapped, and there you go. The final kill comes through. Røkkr just do not care.
Røkkr have taken the initiative on every single round, and that last one was not even candy from a baby. That was daylight robbery, friends. They plowed their way through LAG, no questions asked. Confidence is beaming, clearly. There's not a lot they can do. Wrong chance. It's magnificent stuff out of Røkkr.
There's no room to breathe. I mean, you're trying to get set up on defense, just like finding your corner inside of Grandma's, and literally 5 seconds in the round, you got two players kicking open doors, flying at you like you're fighting a full squad of Kool-Aid, man. This is not fun.
That's terrifying. What an image that is. A slower look now out of LAG. They've made the immediate adjustment. Again, look at the players on stairwells. They've got themselves the barrel spots over towards the B-bomb site. And again, it's an interesting turn of Røkkr as well. You've hit him with the hardest, fastest round so far, and now you slow things right down with attach, with a snipe and everything. So, great looks out of both teams. Who's going to crack first?
Yeah, never peeking that again. By the way, Slasher just had, 3 different nades chucked at him, but at least one was off the mark, so he's able to stay alive. And now this might honestly be the problem. As soon as you sort of give away the game with the sniper, On this map, it is sort of easy not to take any unnecessarily challenges. And right now, Røkkr, they're just throwing up baits. They're throwing pressure on one side of the map. And funny enough, Slasher re-challenged the same angle. Now the bomb gets dropped in the middle. Attach is being fed in a 1v3 for Spart. Oh, how quickly the round can end. And Spart hasn't gotten spotted yet, but it's about to be a nice little 2-0 for Røkkr.
Oh, is it? Wait a minute, we're not done just yet. I called it already. I thought someone was behind him in top grannies, but now Priestahh on top of the bomb site. Spart's going to check this, has to win the fight. He does. My God, it's a 1v1. He's got plenty of time to win this and hit the defuse as well. Now Spart having to play the corners, having to play the defuse. Will Havok take the bait? He's now taking it wide. Over the top, he'll go. Check the bomb, indeed. Will he find anything there? It's easy peasy for Røkkr. What a bit of work there in the search and destroy. Ruthless aggression. Incredibly practical approach there to the game mode, and they have shown why they are kings of the cage in S&D.
I mean, look, Attach has been lethal with the sniper since, what, Ghost? I mean, his entire career, and I mean, you just end up feeding him a pair of kills, and yeah, the 1v3 gets dicey, but when I see Havok in a 1v1, the only thing I can think of is he has more experience in those situations than any other player that comes to mind. He lives for those moments, and honestly, at the end, it was just simply too easy. Røkkr running the Major II champs over, I don't know, there's a metaphor simile in there somewhere. Like a truck? Snowball?
Like a truck. Is the
Train?
snipes from Attach, and the teeniest of pieces of Slasher to be found now by the backside of L. Great shot out to him, and then the second, right on into Huke. Oh man, he slid in like that. Bang, great stuff out of Attach. What a two-spree that was. Defining moment of the round for sure. And again, in the end, he finds himself sitting at 7-7 all round. Good stuff there from Røkkr. Brilliant search and destroy out of them, man. And they had a good look there in the hard point as well. Røkkr have revived themselves in a massive way. One more map's all they need here, and it's a Tuscan control jump.
And also worth pointing out, that was 9 rounds of search and destroy that took 8 minutes and 41 seconds. So yeah, not a lot of time wasted. I think maybe one of those rounds could be considered slow in the slightest, and everything else, I mean, both teams sort of willing to play aggressive, but Røkkr with that new SMG duo, I mean, they were just taking turns flying at the opposition, making good reads for the first blood. Seemed like they could do almost no wrong.
Almost no wrong, but hey, we found a little bit of magic in there still. There's some fight still left in LAG, but there better be a lot of fight left in LAG, because this is their last chance in the series. Tuscan control coming up after this break.
of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It wouldn't be a Røkkr game day without a watch party. That's right, Unit 32 Craft House in Eagan, Minnesota fans lining up. And again, we hope you're enjoying yourselves. And you know what? That's a stupid thing to say, isn't it, Miles? Of course they're enjoying themselves. They're up 2-0 so far. Great stuff out of Røkkr here in the series. Last chance now for LAG in this Tuscan control coming up chance. I'll tell you what, mate, those watch parties look like a lot of fun. Like a lot.
Yeah. I'm hungry now. You just see the food and it's just, you don't realize until like something like that happens. You start salivating a little bit, but I don't know. I'm just stuck in a Pavlovian experience.
I'm also, I mean, we're both in little boxes right now. So that's, you know, it's hard enough being in these little things while we get the games going. But ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Last chance for LAG, Tuscan control. It all comes down to this. Now, we've seen them do incredible things throughout Course Major 2. We saw the incredible comebacks when it came to the Kavutu controls. And I just don't know if LAG have got it in them. They're looking very, very down on themselves. The frustration is on their faces. The gameplay quite ain't there at the, what, of course, 171, the 6-3 there in the search. Chance, they've got to turn this ship around and fast, mate. This is the last hope in the series.
And right now, I know it's a Tuscan control, but I'm looking at Stavik of House Baratheon. I think they might be on point again. They were the main slayers in map 1. They were on point with some of the chemistry in map number 2. And frankly, I just want to see if they can keep the ball rolling, you know?
Sir Stavik, we could do like a weird face mold of the pair of them, couldn't we? But hey, look at this. Standy's turned his game around in a big way. The pro-am, it was a little bit wah, wah. Here, it's a little bit more ring-a-ding-ding. 1.48 for Standy. And for Havok as well, look, 0.88 to the 1.3. Look at that. These boys found themselves anew, birthed in the flame of ambition. They're now looking to scorch their opponents here on Tuscan. Let's get it, brother.
And I'm just going to go ahead and take a guess. Yep, straight through the middle of the map. Zero fear in his heart. Gets there nice and early. And I suppose at the very least gets a little bit of intel. But I think the nades have come through. Has it been a first blood nade in what, like almost every single map we've seen so far today?
At least once per series without fail. It's been very fun to watch. Everyone's learning their nade spots here, getting the homework done here in Vanguard. First segment A taken care of as well. That's Priestahh keeping the line locked down, basically alone at this point. The rest of his squad pushed on forward. You've dealt with the attackers handily. Now, Havok making his way out through church, finding kills all over the place. LAG, they have an avenue to make their way through mid, but they're going to make the kills count.
And if I'm LAG, I'm doing the exact same thing. Not even going to bother setting a foot inside a church. Don't want to deal with all the corners, but they do make the attempt on the flank. It gets red. Attached now, the last man alive near the point, and alive it looks like he shall stay, because again, Havok behind enemy lines. It is the ratty play style that is very annoying to deal with, and well, say for Røkkr pays off at least a little bit. A 2-life lead, which isn't too crazy, but 2 minutes is a massive amount of time to work with.
So much time to work with. 23 lives for Røkkr on attack now. Over to our Mountain Dew featured player Huke, trying to hold them back from behind. He is the single man holding the door. Oh no, the door has been blown off its hinges. And here come Røkkr, flying through the backside of the map. Front side of Tuscan now, that was all Havok's avenue, and he's been taken care of. So the 3 players now making their way through the back streets, able to make themselves onto B and really get in LAG's business. Here comes the shots. Priestahh can't get both. Good work again. Standy staying alive on point.
I mean, it almost looks like Røkkr are on defense, right? They already got attaches posted up on the back tank, and he'll be influencing those spawns constantly, but every single trade you get, well, Røkkr just spawned oh so far away, and I think now attaches feeling the pressure, feels obligated to make a move, and Asim feels the wrath of that, but able to get away for the moment. Knows a couple players are in church, but hey, he is healed back up, he is alive, and I'd say LAG right now are content to not actually get these players out of their spawn.
Yeah, 16 lives for LAG, 18 for Minnesota Røkkr. I'm not sure if Huke's still on the donut. Or is it a bombolini? I'm not sure. We are, of course, in Italy. Could should be a Zipoli. All delicious. Huke's definitely off the donut now, flying through Havok like that, cuts him down. Standy trying to make his way through the backside as well. Playing it a little bit slow, less than 50 seconds remaining.
And LAG just handled that entire situation perfectly, right? Never panic when the players are in your spawn, just play around it. Know that as long as you have that map control a little bit farther and you keep the awareness that eventually you might get flanked, you should be on point, but still a very similar situation. Røkkr get behind enemy lines, LAG somewhat comfortable and happy to let this happen. Players stack up and it's a team kill to help out Slasher, but help he did not need, but there's the help he needed. Little bit of bait to get that final guy on point. The trade should be in and Slasher delivers. He is on a 5.
Smooth moves at Lidigo. 5 in a row now for him. Clock's still ticking. Listen, 20 now to work with. Ooh, in and out he goes. Still having to play the heavy defense. Does he get caught out here now? He's done another lap. He's done another lap. And he's doing rings around them. Røkkr cannot catch him to save their lives. Clock's still ticking. Less than 10 now to work with. Slasher may have bought his team the time they desperately need. Spart's there. Oh, no. 7.9. aBeZy's got to go. Oh, and he goes massive. aBeZy brings him down. Huke's there to back him up. LAG take the round.
And not a problem at all for those guys on defense, dealing with all the pressure in the perfect way. Anytime there's pressure on the flank, just deal with it, ignore it when you need to. And I mean, as you said, Slasher was just in and out around the hill, and he didn't get the glide bomb, so no animal style fries, but at the very least, a fairly dominant round on defense. And you should be in a decent spot for the Ticks. Obviously, still very early in this control. See what LAG can string together on offense.
You are hungry, brother. I heard string and I thought of fries immediately. Here we go. aBeZy off that 2 spree into a 3. Maybe a 4. What? That name a lot. Well, okay. Well, there we go. Back over to our Mountain Dew featured player to wash them all down. Here comes Huke. Finds 1. Gets out good. 3 spree for him. Keeping mid-map as safe and sound as it possibly can be here on the war-torn Tuscan.
Oh, he actually just let a player through, so I think his teammates are expecting mid-map to be closed, but yeah, Huke just lets a player get past, and that means every single one of his teammates is going to fall, and they will now be stuck in their spawn where the spawn trap is being set up. Havok's all the way, like, pushed out roof, causing so many problems. Meanwhile, Huke is completely out of the play. Now, granted, I don't think Røkkr have the awareness to ease behind enemy lines, but you're just trying to get out of your spawn. Finally, Havok runs out of ammo, so Spart can shut him down, but you're already just getting a couple lives stripped away, and gonna have to wrap back and try to get that slow progress over towards A, where finally Huke is now involved.
Gonna get himself onto the point now for a time being. This is the second segment towards A closed out. There we go. That's 2 down, 1 to go. Priestahh, a little late to the party, but you might be able to keep this one safe. That kill comes through. That's all good. 2 teammates now on point. 1 of them making their way towards B. And it's all on to number 5. It's all on to Standy. Trying to get this one done alone. Good stuff. Gets at least 1. Spart now making his way forward.
Still though, Priest is here to watch the cross. He has found his home, and P5 is what he's responsible for. And already it looks like LAG might chalk it up and try to go to A. That's where they're putting the pressure. And well, it's attached here, ready for it. Takes down the first over towards Godhead, and he tries to make the aggressive play, does get caught, but that just means that LAG should be secure. Capture this A point, bar any craziness, and actually, nades make things interesting. More gunfights around the point. aBeZy is going to be feeding this information to his team.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Gunfight Standy gets to.
We've been there. He stopped shooting. He thought he had the kill easy peasy. He was 2 steps ahead of himself, and Standy still alive. This is unreal. Finally, Spart puts him down. An unfortunate moment for aBeZy. We'll let that slide immediately, because again, his team have kept alive on it for the time being. Still got 1 more player there, and it is Huke back on it. Slasher can't get out of spawn. Havok has him in a headlock. A should be done in a moment.
You gotta be kidding.
Spart's taken care of again. There we go. 1:10 on the clock. 6-5. Oh my god, the lives dwindling fast for LAG.
I mean, is anyone gonna shoot back? He's 2 HP, winning gunfights, hip firing with the automaton. Like, they just, I don't know, forgot about him, got bad timing, whatever the case may be. They're losing this round without question. You gotta make sure you don't feed him the glide bomb, but there it is. You have a situation for LAG where in round 1, they play defense so well just to get annihilated in round 2. And I suppose on Ticks, it's all tied up, but just the fact that Havok gets the glide, I mean, you get bullied out in what? Have a 0.5 KD as a team in a round. You're not going to be feeling too good.
That's not a good look. LAG a little disconnected there from one another. This is where leadership has to kick in. You need someone to, you know, corral the troops, get everyone back on the same page ASAP. Whoever's doing it, whether it's aBeZy, whether it's Slasher, even Spart getting a word or 2 in edgeways. Yeah, someone has to corral the boys. Get everyone back on mission. 3-man hit now for Røkkr making their way towards B. Spart may win at least one of the gunfights towards A, but we need reinforcements here ASAP, because Huke is down. Glide bomb, you name it, it's all on. Havok's on an 8.
Yeah, Huke didn't even have time to shoot his gun. Now Havok showing off spots that I had to learn in rank that kind of catches you off guard, but Standy's ready for everything. Wins of 1, players not shooting back. The trades are in, and Havok might have died, but honestly, he might be able to call the glide bomb on because he's got a couple teammates nearby. He's not going to make the investment, but this is 2 ticks through. The third might be coming in short order, or maybe aBeZy with the 2-piece will shut it all down.
It cuts down his team straight across mid. That's easy plays now. You can go towards A if they want. They're draining B now. Good play out of Guerrillas, keeping themselves safe and sound. But you stop the clock on the other side of the map. Here comes Havok. Oh my word, right back into the fray. Gets himself one. Trying to keep the pressure alive as well. The other side is attached. Here's the pinch on right now. It's definitely a war on two fronts, and I don't think the Guerrillas are really set for this one. They've taken care of attached, take care of the other one. I take it all back. We're all good in the hood now as Guerrillas get out of the B zone and they get themselves across to A.
I mean, I can't help but think, like, this is Havok's capital city, right? I mean, 21 kills, just been on point this entire series, and already just 2 ticks of progression to B. You're feeling fantastic in this round. A getting close to being secured, and you see him looking for the next hero play, but everyone falls. A should get locked down, and Standy trying to make moves. He finds one, and LAG, there's just never a moment to breathe.
Now, there's a lot of movement from LAG. They're catching themselves in tough spots, and every time Røkkr are punishing them. Here comes the hit through the back line. Asim clearing out at least L for now, so the alleyway's safe. He has to take care of 2 more players now as they make their way forward. This could get ugly fast. Will they check the corner? Will they see it? Maybe not. Attach is there. So close. Asim pokes the barrel forward, takes care of at least one. Priestahh on the back line now, all alone. Watch out for the pinch, though. That's all on a Huke to cover. Oh my god, what shots.
The shots do get traded, and Huke and Slasher inside point. Well, a couple trades coming through. Slasher now the next man to hold it down, and he just hits the full send, and I suppose that's because he knew he had the backup of Spart. LAG trying to apply this pressure through P5. They consistently just flooding in through this time, and hey, it's panning out. Asim down low is able to pick up 3 in the meantime. He has players jumping over his head trying to kill him, but somehow he delivers. And LAG still doing a nice job to try to contain P5. Huke is just looking the complete wrong direction, and well, here comes the glide.
And clean out the back at least. Gets rid of Spart. Is that going to be enough to get the players forward? You got to watch out for Asim once again, though. He's there. Asim, so annoying, so dangerous. Finds a couple of kills before being brought down. Huke wins a big one.
Oh, this is it. This is done.
They managed to get a point. Standy's there. Wait the kill. No. Just in the nick of time. Røkkr steal it. Match point. Minnesota.
Oh man, I'll be honest, this has been somewhat of a tough game to see Huke on the minimap at times, right? Like, he's top church. I think his teammates see him there and expect mid to get locked down early on, but players slip through and make breaks over towards A. That's a moment where he's running through fire towards P5 with 2 players literally right behind him and just slightly off with his timings. Meanwhile, Havok just does not care. He has 25 kills, and LAG feel the pressure. They're trying to get fancy, trying to go over towards B, but Huke doesn't win his one. He gets caught. Now his players are working from a man disadvantage, and Standy tries to shred them all, including his teammates, but that's a play towards B where I know Spart wins the next one, but he has no support. Nothing's happening on this B point for the Guerrillas.
Tricky. Guerrillas, though, do make some progress towards A. Gonna get them more bodies on point, get that stack going. 2 players up now. Huke's got to push the front line forward. He does just that. This is your Mountain Dew featured player. Looking to right the wrongs now. He's hitting the hard route all the way towards the B zone. He's being chased down by Attach, who's still hot on his heels. You have Priestahh here as well. Can Huke remain sneaky for the time being? This could be a brilliant set of timing. No! Priestahh gets the kill. Attach gets 2 as well. Røkkr can do no wrong.
I mean, that is what, a 45-second life for Huke. All that time invested to not get a single kill. But actually, funnily enough, it might pan out because they get the close spawn towards roof, and you can get 3 bodies out on point, and Røkkr were all over A. Now, the nade is going to stop at least one of these players. And now you got your SMG up top. But hey, if you could shoot like that, it pays off. Huke picks up 2 and eventually does get shot in the back. And well, no ticks come through, but I suppose it is just a seesaw of a game. You put the pressure on B, you get killed, and well, looks like A should be secure.
It should be secure, and there it is. Now, an additional minute to work with. This is great now. However, 17 lives remaining now for LAG. This is a 3 spree at the moment for Havok. Attach is on a 4 spree of his own. So, as if things weren't going bad enough right now for LAG, you could be looking at streaks, and oh my word, he runs out of ammo, and that was lucky enough. Standy through the front, no more. Huke's going to get it. You still have Attach alive and well. Keeping that spree going. Now he's getting in the mix. He's just pushed his way through top fire as well. So all over the map, there is truly activity in nearly every single portion of the Tuscan right now.
I think maybe Attach could be sort of the late flank player. Church has been given up. LAG trying to find the opening, but hey, Priest is there to at least chop down one. Now you got Attach working the flanks, and that is a one-on-one gunfight that makes things much easier for his team, because LAG, you see a couple of those arrows turn around, and that turns into a Standy two-piece, and now you got to deal with it. Old SMG, now AR in your spawn, and good luck. You're basically chasing ghosts around the map. The timing might go your way, but the gunfight does not. Røkkr, I mean, they are looking at a hot 3-0 where they have just dominated this series. If they can close out this round.
He's dead now, but he's called in the glide. It is done. You got eyes on the player at the back. If he wants it, he can take care of a couple of players in the mid. He does get at least one. Spart can't make his way forward. The lives are gone now for Los Angeles Guerrillas. They have been beheaded. And that crown from Major II has just rolled all over the floor in Tuscan. 20 seconds, all down to Spart. This has been a massacre. Minnesota Røkkr. Let me tell you, friends, that was a swift and incredibly decisive 3-0. OMG.
Is Jason Miller behind a curtain somewhere? Just a bully beatdown and a half. I mean, a hot 3-0. Havok just did whatever he wanted that entire series. I mean, as good as it gets. Talk about a turnaround from the Pro-Am, I suppose, having a little bit more time, and maybe the fact that it was online as well playing a factor. But I mean, Attach just doing his thing, normal performance out of him, but Havok right there with him and slaying, even more so in the damage category. And well, on the flip side, it's not like anyone can be happy with that performance. Huke, the only one that's even dead even. Asim, the only one with any sort of like true production. But I mean, that again, just not even close.
Not even close, not even a smidge. Attach and Havok, 31 and 18, 30 and 16 as well. Damn, son, them boys is nasty. Unbelievable performance out of Røkkr. Wow, what a turnaround from them. They really have, they let that Pro-Am do very, very little to the mental game, and if anything, it only made them stronger. And boy, howdy, did it just work out perfectly, Chance, in seemingly every situation. They could do no wrong. It was all great. A little bit of luck here or there, some nice moments for timing, but hey, I start to think it's not so much luck when it keeps happening all series long.
I mean, yeah, they truly just, it was easy for them. I mean, I'm thinking on the flip side for LAG, Asim had a nice flank in the Gavutu to flip spawns on the P2 hill. You had a couple nice rounds of search and destroy where like Slasher starts off, couple first bloods here and there, and you had one good defensive round at control. Other than that, I mean, it was a smoke show through and through. Again, that Stavok duo is paying dividends.
And it is Stavok. The duo is Stavok.
Has to be. No other option.
Definitely Stavok. As man alive, Attach was just on another level. Havok had his way with him in every single situation here on the map. It was disgusting stuff. Streaks for both Havok and Attach again. This was a disgrace. I mean, look at this beatdown at the end. Like,
the Betty boop.
It was just it gives him the Betty boop right on the top of the schnoz. Absolute boops him right out of his gaming chair. Game over. Laser 3-0. Look at the score. Look at the score. This series was vicious. A vicious, vicious display. Good God, Minnesota Røkkr. Stocks just went through the roof. The stonks are rising in the Røkkr coin. Man, what a show.
And for what it's worth, I can't remember if we talked about this before the series started. LAG, I believe, had 115 CDL points. They're 5th overall in the CDL standings. I think there's a couple teams, LA Thieves, Florida, and I think Toronto as well, like in 70 to 80 point range. So Guerrillas have a nice little buffer to stay in the top 8 range, but we're only halfway through the year. And I got to say, that is not a comfortable lead at all. Like, your Major II champions, the pressure is absolutely still on these guys, because top 8's where you need to be, and it will be a dogfight in this league.
You got to watch out, man. You can start bleeding out those points. Veli, Ali, the desk. What do we think of that one?
I think what Chance said actually makes a lot of sense, and it correlates well to everything that's relative, right? For the simple fact that it's, yeah, a lot of pressure to catch up and keep out of not making champs, but that's where diamonds come in, right? And that's where we see players like Havok and all these new AMs step into the scene and really tear things up. But Remember during predictions I said, yeah, I'm not going to roll with the Røkkr because they just don't have an identity? I think they finally found it. Havok was in front of everything, killing everybody.
And that's what we said heading into it, right? Is we need to see what Havok is truly capable of. They ran trials, right? There was something they saw in this player that we were waiting to see in his debut to the CDL, and we saw it here in this match versus LIG. It was in the hardpoint. It was in the search and destroy. It was in the control that it was Havok taking over and making the big plays, and that's why they were able to get their revenge on the Major II champions.
Oh, big time. And also, Havok got the Scump play of the game, and so this is the beauty about it all. Havok comes into the scene on this team, and he brings the explosiveness that, in my opinion, Minnesota Røkkr has missed all season long. And take a look at him. Stats are beautiful. His gameplay is beautiful. The awareness is there, and he's making a difference already.
I mean, it's just an insane 7 streak, right? But this isn't like the only time we saw him going on sprees.
Oh, no.
We saw him go on a multitude of throughout the series. And Minnesota Røkkr, I remember the biggest talk about them was their pacing. Their pacing was too slow compared to other teams. And when they were put under pressure, that's when we would see them succeed. That's when we saw the talent come out of all of these players.
True.
So now with the addition of Havok, he forces that pace change. He forces that aggression. He forces a player like Standy to go faster. He forces a player like Attach to move faster.
Way better.
And they were just flying. And we saw what they were capable of in this fast-paced environment when they were put under pressure early on in the series rather than later.
He opened things up for everybody out there on that roster. We actually have him here for the Game Field post-victory spotlight. Let's get Havok on the mic. Havok, congrats on the big win. Welcome to CDL this season where you're tearing it up right now. But my question to you is, you joined a team that's struggling to find their groove. In your opinion, what are things that you and the team really need to work on to get to a level to where you want to be?
So yeah, going into this, or after the trial process, we knew that this roster right here probably had the highest ceiling.
Okay.
And we just wanted to, if me and Standy can we have like the same play style, so if we can kind of mesh better together on who's pushing out what and who's staying in time and stuff like that, then I think we can excel in hardpoint, which is right now like the main thing that we needed to fix when they brought me in. So if we can do that, I think it'll take us to really high levels.
I love it.
Congratulations, Havok. I mean, one heck of a series specifically out of you, especially from the Pro-Am in your debut. I know it was a lot of pressure because, you know, we've seen what all the subs and challengers players have done being brought up. And so it was like, all right, well, now what Havok's going to do? Well, now we've seen what you're capable of doing. And I want to know, was it just kind of like a comfortability thing? You're still finding your groove? Or did you just have a couple things that you needed to change heading into this series?
So yeah, going into the Pro-Am, I felt a lot of pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself. But after I got into Minnesota at the facility, obviously we have a sports coach, and he taught me some techniques, taught the team some techniques, and just being around the guys, getting more comfortable with them. I felt like during this match I didn't really feel any pressure, and I used the techniques that he taught us. And I think it showed that it really helped me individually and as a team too. We just were able to close it out, play comfortable, and I felt just free on the map.
That's incredible.
Congrats. Whatever techniques were handed down to you, man, you're killing it right now. Keep it up. And I wish you and Minnesota Røkkr the best of luck. Hopefully we can have more of these interviews soon this year, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, you take it easy. So today has been a long and fun day. I didn't mean to cut him off right there. Long and fun, right? A lot of great games, fun times on the desk. Nameless, I miss you, man. Hurry up and come back. Shout out to Dana that's getting married right now. But we kicked off today with Paris versus London Royal Ravens, and Harry is filthy.
Harry is so gross, dude. And we can see the points on our screen now where everybody kind of stands moving into it. This is only day 2 of week 1 heading into Major 3. So still a lot of Call of Duty to be played, but it is kind of the first real peek into what these teams have done over the break. London, the patience out of them in their series for me is what really put me on board with them, especially in that Bocage S&D. Bocage is usually kind of just about getting a first pick, right, and playing off of that information. Not for London Royal Ravens. They would bait out the players of Paris Legion. They would play their lives a little bit better. They would throw a couple shots out and force those players to make those aggressive plays. We saw that in Harry, especially when he would just play his life so incredibly well.
But the one thing that you pointed out earlier, Ali, is not about the kills that Harry got. It was the kills after the kills that Harry got. He was steamrolling through all of Paris Legion. But once again, I'm going to give a shout out to Paris Legion as well, because the gameplay that I'm seeing from the likes of Gravity and also Timp, who's been consistent for this team, is good. But I would just like to see Paris win just a little bit.
I would just like to see everybody play good at once.
Together, please?
Somebody is just, it's just like Seattle. Somebody is always in the blender, dude. So I am waiting for all of them across the board. But but I think from the beginning of the season when it comes to this Paris Legion squad, what they've been capable of doing from then to now is incredible.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten better. But speaking of which, Seattle's facing the same type of battle, but the story is all about Toronto, okay? Major 3 is coming around, and when we looked at what was going on for the qualifiers for Major 2, Toronto just weren't there. They weren't winning hard points. They were up and down, inconsistent, to where everyone was saying they're just not winning and they need a team change, but nobody should get swapped out. They're all good. What's going on?
That was the thing, is you could not pinpoint it on one player, and Toronto Ultra knew that. So they went back to the lab.
Yep.
They had took advantage of the break, and now they come back and they are winning hard points. They won 2 hard points versus the likes of Seattle Surge. That is more than we've seen out of a lot of this squad, who was a 2-3-5 team, and they close it out with a 6-0 on Tuscan Search and Destroy. If you are a Toronto Ultra fan heading into Major 3, you are out of your seat excited for this, because this squad looks so much better.
And they got a big win with Seattle Surge, having Pred pop off and go crazy along with Sib. But also the third series of the day. Okay, this was kind of lopsided and sad. One of the Mutineers walked into the lobby and went to sleep against OpTic Texas. But the thing is, Prolute, he was like, all right, I'm awake though. I'm gonna pop off, and once again, he went crazy. Search and Destroy heading into this series right here, he had a 1.33. Today, he did even better. I think he went like, what, 12-4?
I cannot stress how much I love these Challengers players coming up into the scene, and not only doing well, absolutely dominating the competition and making a serious name for the Challenger scene here in the CDL. Prolute, you're right, he actually had a 12-3 with a 1v2 in that series. OpTic Texas are looking prime heading into the second half of the season, even with the difficulties on the roster.
All right, so that's pretty much it so far. But, Haggy was saying on the flank the other night, he was saying, aMeZy stages get thrown into these ideal situations, and it's insane. But the thing is, we can't really be mad at it, because they're winning championships and they're crushing it right now. So shout out to all the newcomers that walked into the season this year. They're absolutely crushing it. But, Ali, next week, we're going to have bounties all 3 days, and it's going to be really fun. We're capping it off at Atlanta versus OpTic. I can't wait to see what Prolute does against the likes of Atlanta FaZe, but it gives the pros a good chance to get some extra money mid-season.
Absolutely. We're going to have bounties. We're hopefully going to have Nameless back on the desk with us to start up some riling arguments, maybe throw a little rogue tweets out there. But across the board, all these matchups are going to be incredible. We saw now what Minnesota is looking to do and what they're capable of doing, and they're going to be going up against a hot and improving Toronto Ultra. That's going to be a spicy match, and then we're going to see a struggling LAG going up against a struggling Florida. So there's a lot of good storylines heading into next week.
And also, I want to give a big shout out to, once again, all the challengers that moved up. They got promoted. They made it to the CDL, and they're making a difference in winning championships, right? But also, they got here for a reason. Go to the Open Challengers event that we have in Toronto. I mean, Ali and I are here because of challengers.
Absolutely. And now you can go and prove yourself as well. I mean, it is the Passion Pit for a reason, and if there's any year to do it, it is doing it this year at Major 3. In Toronto, once again, I've said it a multitude of times, I've heard nothing but great things.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. Like I said, beautiful people and even better food, okay? But, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the broadcast today. It's been kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. I miss Nameless a lot. But with all the talk about challengers and seeing players like Prolute step up on OpTic and do well, you got Spart winning major events, this is insane. And with that being said, I want to say to all of you challengers out there, keep on grinding. The CDL is as open as you ever thought it was. Take a look at 50% of the league being full of them to kick off the year. But not just that, I want to give a shout out to the commentators as well. Spaceman, Schiff, you got Ellen, Brody, it doesn't even matter. We love you guys, we love the growth, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow at the same place, the same time for more CDL action. Take care of yourself, and we love you.
Bye.
Mwah.